This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, more than 180 University of Otago staff will lose their jobs. Queenstown may be one of the country's most rapidly growing towns, but they still won't be getting paid firefighters. And the Dunedin Emerson's building makes its mark on the world stage. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Melissa Barton. University of Otago General staff were called to a meeting by the Vice-Chancellor Harlene Hayne shortly after midday today. She says more than 180 staff will lose their jobs. The university employs more than 1,000 general staff in administration and clerical roles. Dunedin General staff were called to a meeting on campus, which the South Today understands was streamed to the organisation's workers in other centres. In a media statement, Otago Vice-Chancellor Harlene Hayne says if adopted, the proposal will save the university $16.7 million per year, at the cost of 182 jobs. She believes the cuts won't tarnish the organisation's reputation as an environment of excellence. Clearing work at the Cromwell Cemetery has been permanently shelved after 80 to 100-year-old human bones were uncovered. The work involved removing a pine tree from one corner of the cemetery where there were no recorded or suspected burials. Central Otago District Council Parks and Recreation Manager Matt Begg says the bones are being held by an archaeologist and would be reinterred at their cemetery. Queenstown may be one of the country's most rapidly growing towns, but a fire service of paid firefighters, rather than volunteers, is not yet warranted. This was one of the messages that came from a gathering of the town's firefighters recently to mark the amalgamation of the country's fire services into one organisation, Fire and Emergency New Zealand.
He waka iki noa in Māori means all in one canoe, no exceptions. The phrase and the waka were used at a gathering in Queenstown recently to make the amalgamation of the district, urban and rural volunteer firefighters.
It's quite symbolic of the challenges that we've got ahead and what we expect our people to do. You know, we have, as I say, rural, urban volunteers in both of those sectors, but we've also got a lot of amazing people who do support work for Fire and Emergency New Zealand.
Queenstown is the 11th busiest volunteer brigade, and Fire Regional Manager for the Queenstown region, Region 5's David Gard says amalgamation will aid efficiency.
But especially under the new legislation that comes with this change, that gives us a broader mandate to carry out a wider range of response things, and to also secure a reasonable budget in order for us to be able to do that.
New Zealand previously had 38 autonomous rural fire authorities.
Look, from the rural sector in New Zealand, there's 39 different rural fire authorities out there at the moment, and all of them are autonomous in their own right. They report to themselves, they're funded locally, and so what this is really meaning going forward is that we've got an opportunity over the next 2 years of the integration phase of the Fire and Emergency project to actually try and get some consistency among all of those.
Region 5 covers Central, North, East, Otago and Southland, making it one of the biggest inland area.
We've got 2 enlarged rural fire districts down here currently that cover nearly 30% of New Zealand's land area, so it's a big area.
Queenstown currently has a volunteer fire brigade, and while Gard indicated the growth the resort town will lead to it having a paid fire service, but not just yet.
Not really on the table.
Mina Amso, The South Today.
Entries from 68 countries have been shortlisted for the World Building of the Year Awards, representing the best in global architecture. This year, a Dunedin building will be making its mark on the world stage. Simon Henderson reports.
Emerson's brewery and tap room, designed by Mark Green at Beaker Architects, has been shortlisted for the World Building Awards. The iconic building by the Dunedin Harbour is the base for Richard Emerson's successful brewery. His desire was to create a lasting home for his business.
We are actually wanting a spiritual home for our brand, something that we could be proud of, and something that's a landmark for Dunedin.
The aim was to wrap the brewery around the tap room so people could look through and see the beer making process while enjoying a meal and a drink in the bar and restaurant. Architect Mark Green says it is a real surprise to be shortlisted.
I guess I wasn't all that confident, that's for sure, because it's not exactly a contemporary building. It's got a lot of historical reference to the industrial era of Dunedin, and also the brickwork. There's the World Architecture Festival Awards there, they're for leading contemporary buildings, so I was quite surprised that we got shortlisted. It's a pleasure to be acknowledged, actually. Well, the key thing really was to ensure that people could engage with the craft of brewing. They wanted a facility where people could taste, smell, and actually see the craft of brewing in terms of ensuring that we've got plenty of movement, like people moving around. That it wasn't just a standalone sort of brewery that was managed from elsewhere.
To be picked out for an international one, it's kind of mind-blowing, and I hear that they're both going to be in Berlin. Berlin has a special place for me because it's all about beer in Germany. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. If we do well, I'll be chuffed.
The awards will be announced later this year in Berlin. Simon Henderson for the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today, Air New Zealand flight from Auckland was sent home this week without touching down in Queenstown Airport. Kids Zone family fun at Invercargill's James Hargis College.
For all your news from the southern regions as it happens, go to our Facebook page. The South Today, connecting you with your community thanks to New Zealand On Air.
How about these? Stretch moleskins by Lee Ryder. 7 colours, 2 leg lengths, very comfortable, warm, extremely durable, and only $79.90.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Grandad loved his family and surfing, in that order. He taught me to surf, and we spent a lot of time in the water together over the years. When he died, I strapped the camera to the nose of his old board and filmed the paddle out at St. Clair. Gillian's played the video on the big screen at his funeral. Grandad would have loved having everyone come out one last surf with him.
Gillian's Funeral Services, helping families celebrate the lives of their loved ones for generations. Gillians.co.nz.
Bring some more joy into your world by adopting one of our adult animals at SPCA Otago. Call now on 473 8252. Please adopt a pet now, they will love you forever. From rare to the recent, visit the legendary Hard to Find for your quality second-hand books. With the largest stock in New Zealand and a friendly book-loving atmosphere. For good prices, buying or selling, come visit 20 Dowling Street.
Silverhorn Active Manuka Honey from the natural Manuka forests of New Zealand. Buy 1 250-gram pot for $34.90 and get a second pot for half price. Order online at silverhorn.co.nz.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 15 years. New doors, replacement doors, repairs and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team at 553 Kaikoai Valley Road. Visit www.garrador.co.nz or call us on 488 5676.
We're a 25 Moray Place at Dog with Tails Cafe and Bar. So we take coffee very seriously. We do what's called contract roasting, so we're creating our own roasting profile and then doing our own blends. We're really focused on the craft of what we're doing. You know, we're going back, instead of going on mass-produced sort of cheap things. We're taking the time to really craft what we're making. Make it so anyone can come here and have a feed and be able to get something they're able to eat or that they want to eat as well. You're kind of getting a taste of cafes from all around the world when you come here.
Summer is back by popular demand. Gillian's and Silverhorn bring you Rub of the Green, lawn bowls from the recent season. Saturday 4 p.m. and Sunday 7 p.m. only on Channel 39.
An Air New Zealand flight from Auckland on its final approach to Queenstown Airport was sent home this week without touching down. If the plane had landed, it would have breached the airport's 10 p.m. nighttime curfew. The Queenstown Airport Corporation has only just finished apologising to Frankton residents for allowing a Jetstar flight to take off in May 13 minutes after the 10 p.m. cut-off. Invercargill's James Hargis College is a major point of interest in the south this week, as hundreds flock to enjoy some wholesome family fun.
Families in the south have been braving the cold this week to enjoy the 13th annual ILT Kids Zone in Invercargill. The 6-day festival, held at James Hargis College, provides family-oriented entertainment to cure any mid-holiday boredom for children and parents alike. The festival boasts something for everyone in the family, with around 150 activities on offer, including live performances, face painting, crazy bike rides, and even some hands-on experience with the authorities. 4 new activities have been added to the lineup this year, which incorporate elements of technology and space, as well as an Into the Wild exhibition, where kids can experience a different side to nature. The festival has proven more popular than ever, selling over 1,000 tickets within its first week of sales and completely selling out for today, Friday the 14th. Tickets for Saturday through to Monday are still available at the Southland Museum and Art Gallery, but anyone interested in the event is advised to get in quickly before they sell out. Sharon Rees, The South Today.
After the break on The South Today, it's almost cold in the Maniatoto for a curling bonspiel. And are you ready to Southern Rumble? Southern Pro Wrestling hosts stars of the pro wrestling world in Invercargill.
She may be the love that cannot hope to last. They come to me from shadows.
Europe in Concert rerun. Channel 39 brings you some of the world's most interesting musicians on stage. Mondays, 10 p.m.
Loss of collagen is the reason for those fine lines and wrinkles. Silverhorn's Collagen Plus naturally supports your collagen levels, giving you younger, firmer looking skin, healthier, shinier hair and stronger nails. Joints, tendons, ligaments and cartilage all benefit from healthy collagen levels, the very foundation of structural health. Support collagen levels naturally with Collagen Plus by Silverhorn. Be quick, buy one now and get a second pack half price. Call now 0800 502 402.
When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489 2274.
The University of Otago, an institute of world-class education and the social epicenter of the city, with outfits needed for more formal functions like the ball and for less formal functions like...
The zoo? Are you sure?
Yeah, trust me.
Yeah, Dad, you'll definitely see me. I'm the one in the yellow and blue face paint and the onesie in the zoo.
Active Furnishers Limited, home of quality service with superior product and an in-house design team who are always happy to advise and create an imaginative solution for you. Active Furnishers Limited, part of Dunedin's design history.
How about these? Stretch moleskins by Lee Ryder, 7 colours, 2 leg lengths, very comfortable, warm, extremely durable and only $79.90.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
EFTPOS, point of sale and cash registers. Rent, lease or buy. Mobile EFTPOS and fixed terminals. Short or long-term rentals. Contact Anything's POS today. 0274 361 474.
Autumn is here. Too late to sow grass seed, but never fear. Ready Lawn is here. Ready Lawn, your perfect all year round solution. Call Ready Lawn today.
Oakley's Bathroom Centre proudly brings you junior football from around Dunedin. Off the Bar, Saturday 7 p.m, Sunday 1 p.m, and Tuesday afternoon 3:30 p.m.
Welcome back. It's almost cold enough in the Maniatoto for a curling bonspiel, the first in the region since the Naseby bonspiel of 2015 and the Idaburn Dam's bonspiel of 2012. The owner of the land around the dam, Ken Gillespie, says a bonspiel is a possibility with 65 millimetres of really nice black ice under recent snow. Temperatures as low as minus 13 degrees Celsius have been recorded in the Maniatoto in recent days. A bonspiel would attract hundreds of curlers from around the country. Are you ready to Southern Rumble? Stars of the pro wrestling world will be fronting up for a night of wrestling hosted by the Southern Pro Wrestling at the Invercargill Working Men's Club on July the 22nd. SPW founding member and current New Zealand Pro Wrestling heavyweight champion Troy Crosby says the event will be the SPW's biggest show yet.
If the idea of grown humans being cleverly choreographed, throwing themselves and others around a ring sounds like your kind of thing, this could be for you. 4 international wrestling stars are set to feature at Southern Pro Wrestling's next event, according to current New Zealand Pro Wrestling heavyweight champion Troy Crosby.
Will Ospreay is probably the hottest international star outside of the WWE, and he's quite amazing. I would probably put it, well, some people have said that he's kind of like the wrestling version of Richie McCaw. So before he was an All Black, sort of before he was a big star, that's probably the level he's on. It's quite hard to explain how big of a star he is without understanding the full wrestling scene.
Crosby says it's a coup for Southern Pro Wrestling to have the aerial assassin Will Ospreay on the mat and taking to the air. He says it's an exciting time for the sport, with around 22 Southern-based athletes, and patronage increasing.
We have kids from all ages through to adults in their 70s and 80s coming and attending, and we've had great feedback so far on all of our shows. Everyone just wants to keep coming back, so that's why our crowd keeps growing and growing, so it's really exciting.
Troy Crosby is set to defend his own New Zealand heavyweight title on the night. Also on the card, Kiwi-born female international pro wrestling star Bea Priestley will also be returning to New Zealand after making a name for herself overseas and overcoming brain surgery. She's due to take on Auckland-based fighter Ashley Spencer. There are more guests on the bill, including people who've wrestled in the American WWE. The night is scheduled to end with a 20-person battle royale, in which the only way to be eliminated is to be thrown over the top rope and out of the ring. Darryl Baser, The South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on The South Today. University of Otago General Staff were called to a meeting by Vice-Chancellor Harlene Haynes shortly after midday today. 182 full-time equivalent positions will be cut. Queenstown may be one of the country's most rapidly growing towns, but a fire service of paid firefighters rather than volunteers isn't yet warranted. And entries from 68 countries have been shortlisted for the World Building of the Year Awards, representing the best in global architecture. And now a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Craig Page.
Good evening. Yeah, obviously the big story of the day around Dunedin is the proposed cuts at the University of Otago. 182 jobs to go, and that's on the back of Cadbury's announcing earlier this year that they were going to lose 350 staff. So it's pretty disappointing times, I guess, for a lot of people out there, and worrying times as well. Harleen Hayne today saying that the cuts were there was nothing. It was the only option they basically had. She's saying to maintain an environment of excellence. Consultation into August 25. But there's some interesting breakdown there. 2,300 general staff employed. So this is 8% of those staff that's jobs are going to be at risk, and she's saying it's going to save $16 million annually for the university. So, yeah, as I say, disappointing times for a lot of people out there and worrying times over the next few weeks while that's sorted out. Tomorrow we start a three-part investigation, part of our Insight series, looking at child abuse in state care in New Zealand. There's many have suffered at the hands of emotional, physical and sexual abuse while in state care in New Zealand. And we talked to some Otago word children, obviously now adults, talked about their experiences. And what they've been through, the impact it's had on their lives. A lot of them now have spent time in prison themselves for nasty assaults and thefts, those sorts of things. They talk about, as I say, the future for them and their battle for compensation, really. They're wanting something from the government to show the disappointing times they had there. So a bit of a really good read. We start this Saturday, next Wednesday and the following Saturday will be the final series, so something to look out for. Final round of Super Rugby tonight. Highlanders playing the Reds at the stadium, of course. We'll have live updates on our website throughout the evening. And full courage in tomorrow's ODT. Nervous wait for the Highlanders then to see whether they'll be playing their quarter-final next week, whether they're heading to South Africa or Christchurch. So we'll, some nervous times for them as they look at those matches. And finally in the weekend mix, we catch up with local composer and musician Trevor Coleman, who's off to Spain to pursue some new musical options. So
fantastic.
Good read there.
Looking forward to seeing that in the ODT tomorrow. Thank you. And now time for a look at tomorrow's weather.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Silberhorn Sportsval.
Starting with today's southern view, taken off Dunedin's railway station, reflected in a glassy puddle. Looking at the situation, a ridge of high pressure will bring frost tonight and a fine day tomorrow for most, but a front will approach from the Tasman Sea on Sunday and weaken with some showers about then. To the southern outlook, Balclutha, Catlins and Lumsden, some light northwesterlies, cloud increasing and 9 degrees for all of you. To the central outlook, Alexandra and Queenstown, you will have light northerlies, high cloud increasing and 8 degrees. Te Anau, freshly northerlies, rain later and 9 degrees. Wanaka, to the northern outlook, Oamaru, light northeasterlies, fine and 8 degrees. Amarama and Twizel, light winds, fine and 7 degrees. Timaru, light winds, fine and 8 degrees. Here in Dunedin tonight, fine and cold frost with an overnight low of -2 degrees. Tomorrow, mostly fine and sunny with light northerly winds, cool temperatures with a high of 9 and a low of 3 degrees. And cloudy on Sunday with a few light showers at times during the day. Moderate northeasterly winds, a high of 8 and a low of 5 degrees. And in Invercargill tonight, frosty with an overnight low of -2 degrees. Tomorrow, fine and sunny with light northerly winds. High cloud increasing late in the day with a high of 10 and a low of 5 degrees. And on Sunday, cloudy with a period of rain, clearing late in the day. Moderate southeasterlies dying out, a high of 8 and a low of 4 degrees. And leaving you with some shots from the snow that blanketed the South Island this week. Have a great weekend. Remember, you can keep up with the South Today on Facebook, YouTube and at www.channel39.co.nz. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.